The House Majority Whip Steve Scalise is joining us on the phone from Washington to talk about health care this morning. And you were at the White House with the other Republicans standing right behind President Trump when he was taking the congratulatory bows for this bill passing.
Hey, good morning, Eric. Good to be with you. And, you know, a lot of work has gone into this. There's a lot more work to be done, but at least yesterday we took the first big step at starting the process of unraveling Obamacare, putting people back in charge of their health care decisions and lowering premiums. And that's what this bill does. It does a lot of good things. And, of course, there's some misinformation out there. I understand that. But the bottom line is we put a lot of extra layers of protection in place for people with pre-existing conditions so that they're not going to be discriminated against. And, in fact, we'll probably get lower premiums because of the extra protections we put in place than what they're getting today.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are in the bill, because there's been a lot of hyperbole on both sides. The Republicans and the president saying this is going to be the best thing ever for Americans. The Democrats saying it's the end of the world for a lot of people.
Well, it's the end of the world for Obamacare, and obviously there's still people that
But there are things about Obamacare that Americans do like.
Yeah, and if you look at it, the main things that they like were that people with pre-existing conditions can't be denied coverage. That's in our bill, by the way. We've always
with a
agreed
caveat,
with that,
though.
And it's in our bill.
But
no,
there's a caveat
that never
on
goes
that.
away. That can't be waived. There's some waivers that states have the ability to make. So if a state says, I want to waive certain provisions of the law, the federal law, I want to do something that's more tailored to our state, they have that ability. But one of the things we said you cannot waive is the ability for pre-existing condition, folks with pre-existing conditions, to always have the ability to get coverage. And so we've kept that in there, but you know, there are some other things that they can waive that don't work in every state.
Well, what's it going to do for people? And then a lot of people in this state on Medicaid, a lot of elderly people. Elderly will be charged more. The people on Medicaid are going to be affected by this.
Well, Medicaid will change in a lot of positive ways. First of all, Medicaid, everybody will tell you, is the most broken form of health care. So because it's a one-size-fits-all Washington program, we actually let the states run the Medicaid program, not with cuts. We control the growth. Medicaid has been an out-of-control spending program, but it hasn't done a good job of providing health care to low-income people. So we actually give the money to the states as a block grant. So states get to run the Medicaid program. You don't need to get Washington to make a national change to do something that's good for Louisiana. That's the way it used to work. And so, you know, if Louisiana had a really good idea in Medicaid, they couldn't do it because it's a Washington-run program. We actually let every state run their own Medicaid program now.
And, you know, some of the criticism has been the way this was passed. It seems like it was the same way that you guys criticized how Obamacare was passed. It was totally partisan. You couldn't get any bipartisan support on this. Even people in your own party didn't vote for it. A lot of your own colleagues have not even read the bill yet.
Well, first of all, the bill was online. The bulk of it's been online for over a month now. It's the whole bill, if you take all the amendments, is less than 130 pages. Keep in mind, Obamacare is over 2,500 pages and was completely rewritten the night before the vote. We didn't do that. We said, look, let's make it available online for everybody to read. The only final change that was made yesterday was literally a 2-page amendment that was added, and that's been online for a few days as well. So anybody who's wanted to read the bill has had, for the most part, over a month to read it. But what the bill does is what's most important, and that is that it lowers premiums and puts people back in charge of their health care decisions.